Hey guys, we are back in the library today to talk about another book for a rapid review. This book is called Senlin Ascends by Josiah Bancroft. It is the first book in what is going to be a 4-book series. I believe the last book is coming out next month. The series itself is called The Books of Babel. So I'm going to tell you some pros and cons of this first book to see if you think you might be interested. So just a little bit of background on what this book is about. It follows a man named Thomas Senlin who is going on his honeymoon with his wife, and it starts out right in the midst of them traveling to their honeymoon destination, which is this Tower of Babel. And this tower in the world that they live in is just legendary. It is huge. No one even knows how many floors are in it. It is just so expansive that each floor has something different on it. Each floor is very different, and he is led to believe by a book that he has, because also he is very bookish and is, very scholarly, I should say. So he does not have very many, he doesn't have much practical experience kind of in the real world, which of course gets him a little bit in trouble later, but he relies on this book to tell him what this tower is like. And here's just kind of a little picture for you, a little diagram that kind of shows you what the tower looks like and the different levels. And this book that he has tells him how to kind of get through each level, almost like a video game, I would say. That I've heard people compare this to sort of reminding them of a video game, because there are different levels that you have to kind of go through to get to the next level. So he relies on this book, and it turns out the book is, of course, totally wrong. And the authors of the book had never even been to the tower. So he is learning for himself that the tower is not what it seems. He loses his wife as soon as he gets there. That's not a spoiler. It happens literally right away, because that is the plot of the entire series, is him trying to find his wife and get her back, because a lot of people lose loved ones in this tower. So what did I like and what did I not like about this book? Well, I would say that honestly about the first half was really good. I thought I was going to love it because I loved this aspect of each level being something different. So the first level, well, even before you get to the first level, there are things outside of the tower as well that they have to kind of get through. And I thought, oh, okay, now I can't wait to see what's actually in the tower then. So they finally get there. The basement level was pretty interesting, and I liked it. And I could not wait to see what, just seeing the names made me exciting, like the Parlor, the Baths, New Babel, Pelphia, and Silk Gardens. And that sounded so cool. And honestly, I thought that each book would have another map in here, like a little diagram like this, that it would have more levels of the tower, but they don't. And so I'm sad about that, because I want to know what the other levels are called. Maybe they'll tell us in the other books, but I've not got that far yet. So anyway, I was so excited about these different levels, but by the time you get to about like the halfway through the book, he is still going up one level at a time, but like weird things really start happening to him at each level, which I suppose is to be expected, but he's not having the traditional experience that a tourist at this tower would have. And so once it got to the part where there's clearly a lot more plot than just go to this level and then this happens, go to this level and then this happens, which I actually enjoyed. I guess some people probably would not. I didn't like it when it got more of a cohesive plot. I thought it was all too convenient, especially towards the end, because if he is in this gigantic tower with so many people in it that is so expansive, how is it that he miraculously runs into some of the same people again, right? And that somehow everything sort of becomes connected in the end. And that just doesn't seem very realistic. I mean, not that this is real at all, but just from what they led you to believe, it would be impossible to find anyone again. Like, he can't even find his wife, so how could he kind of run into the same people? That was my theory anyway. So I didn't really like how neatly everything was tied in at the end and how it was all wrapped up. Like I said, I actually had super high hopes, and the first half was really good. It was darker than I expected. When he gets to the second level, like really dark stuff happens to the point that I was very shocked. I was kind of horrified, honestly. I was like, oh my gosh. So just be prepared for that. I was definitely not, because I thought this was like, oh, fun little fantasy romp. No, it is not. It is much darker than that. So I'm assuming that the rest of the books are going to be that way as well. I am going to continue on. The second book is called Arm of the Sphinx, so we will give it a try. The newest book that's coming out, the third one's called The Hod King, and Hods are slaves in this book. So I'm intrigued to see, if he's going to become the Hod King. I don't know. Who knows? I'm assuming he's going to get sort of more power as we go and become more important in this tower. And then the last book that's coming out is called The Fall of Babel. So that sounds intriguing. So, I mean, just even the titles of the book make me curious as to where this book's going to go, or the series is going to go. But I was not as intrigued as I thought I was going to be. It's honestly not as fast paced as I thought it was going to be either. I did like the character of Senlin though. He's pretty cool. He does change pretty quickly though. That first half, he's just a super naive tourist who is going by this book that is not even accurate. But then the last half, all of a sudden he is very just cunning and can fool people. And you're like, well, how did you get these skills? Like, we just didn't see that progression, I don't think. I think that maybe should have happened later on in future books. But anyway, that is my review. I would totally give it a shot though and see if it's your thing, because a lot of people love it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again in another video soon. Bye.